Hey, what's up? This is my daughter Mariah.
And this is my daddy Jordan.
This is the Daddy-Daughter Movie Review Podcast. So what we do is we answer 10 questions, and those 10 questions will help you determine two most important questions, which are, is this movie suitable for your child? And then also the second question, which is, would an adult die of boredom watching this movie with your child? So, Raya, you want to tell everybody which movie we're reviewing and then give a quick overview of everything?
Yeah, so the movie we're reviewing is Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. Queen Ramonda, Shuri, M'Baku, Okoye, and the Dora fight to protect their nation from intervening world powers in the wake of King T'Challa's death. As the Wakandans strive to embrace their next chapter, the heroes must band together with the help of War Dog Nakia and Everett Ross and forge a new path for the kingdom of Wakanda.
Good job, Bryce. Good job. So this is the second Black Panther movie. So let's go ahead and jump right into it then with the first question, which is, were you able to follow the storyline?
Yeah, I was able to follow it mostly, but there was this one part that it was a little confusing and it was hard to follow it.
Is that right?
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of what part that might have been. But we don't want to give any spoilers, so we'll go ahead and keep that between the two of us. We'll talk about that after this. We try not to talk about the movies outside of seeing them because we want to get each other's real responses here in front of the camera. So I'll talk to her a little bit after we do this video. But yeah, I was able to follow it. I do think that someone like Raya's 9, almost 10, and then I think if there was a kid that was 5, 6, 7 years old, I do think that they would struggle to follow the storyline of this one.
Yeah.
I really do think that it's not as streamlined as some of the Disney movies or some of the Marvel movies out there. It's not as straightforward as like Toy Story or something like that, where there's not a whole lot of characters in there. It's just one easy storyline to follow. So yeah, I can understand why you would say it was a couple of parts that was hard to follow. Okay. The next question is this 100% appropriate for kids? Obviously, it depends on the age. This one is a PG-13 movie. It's a lot of fighting scenes in this one.
Yeah, there's a lot of fighting scenes in there.
Right. So, yeah, I mean, 13-year-old, great. They can deal with that easily. But, again, once you're into like the 5 to 10-year-old, probably a little less than 10, I'm pretty sure they would struggle with a whole lot of that. So go ahead.
I don't really struggle with it because I'm used to watching action movies because I watch a lot of Marvel movies. So I really don't struggle with that because I usually watch it.
Right. I mean, she's not watching anything crazy like I don't know, some kind of crazy Quentin Tarantino movie or nothing like that, but she does typically watch some of the Marvel stuff, so this is pretty normal to her. It's not as lighthearted as the usual like Ant-Man movies. Like Ant-Man is a comedy movie, so those are really fun-loving and happy movies. This one was a little dark because it involved, I guess it's not a spoiler to say it involved the death of a character, right? Yeah, it involved the death of a character, maybe a couple of characters. So it was a little darker and deeper than like some of the Disney other Marvel movies. Would you say that?
Yeah.
Okay. So the third question is, would adults like this movie? And the answer to that is absolutely. So this is more driven to adults, even though it's a PG-13 movie, even though it's a comic book movie. I do believe that it is driven towards adults because there's a lot of underlying themes in it that go right over the tops of young kids' heads, which I think is pretty cool. But yeah, it's definitely a movie that adults would love to watch. Scary parts. That's the fourth question. So were there any parts in there that made you either cover your eyes or overwhelmed you a little bit?
There's one or two parts that overwhelmed me a little, but it was the action parts.
Yeah, probably some of the fighting scenes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, in every movie there's a big fight scene at the end. Every Marvel movie, I should say, there's like a big fight scene at the end.
Yeah.
And then, so this one is no different. There was a big fight scene at the end, and there were some pretty, I don't know if I'd call it intense, but it was a couple of parts that made me go, ooh, and I'm a grown man.
Too.
So, right. So, yeah. The fifth question is, did we laugh? Did you laugh in this movie at all? Do you remember?
Yeah, it was pretty funny to me.
Yeah. There was a couple of funny scenes, but it seemed like it was a somber, like, sad movie most of the time.
Yeah.
You know? Because at the beginning, you're talking about, I don't want to do spoilers on this.
Yeah.
But at the beginning, we're talking about the death of a character, and then potentially another one, and it just continues to go. So it's kind of a somber, sad type movie where people are trying to overcome losses, you know? Yeah. But there were a couple of parts that did make me chuckle. For the most part, it was not a funny movie, though, for the most part, in my opinion. Was there a good soundtrack to this movie? What's your thought on that?
I really like the soundtrack. To me, like, I love this song. It's just, it sounded
What song are you talking about?
It's called "Lift Me Up."
Oh, the Rihanna song?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that is a pretty good song.
Yeah.
I know Kendrick Lamar did the first soundtrack. I don't even know who did the second soundtrack. I don't know. They didn't really make much. They didn't make a big hype about this soundtrack, so I'm not really sure. Other than that one Rihanna song, what else there really was as far as music that go to this movie? Anything you could? Any other, like, I don't think. Did you hear any other original songs or no? Just that one.
Just that one. That's all I heard.
But you like that one a lot.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Any bad language that you remember? So with me, I really don't remember any bad language. I know, like, usually in the Marvel movies they will say I'll call them the easy words. So there's no like hard F words or nothing crazy like that. There might have been one or two, but I don't remember those.
No, me either.
No.
If it did, it just like went over my head.
Right. So the next question, which is question number 8. Did this movie seem long to you?
No, it didn't seem long because I loved it so much.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of what the runtime was on this movie. Do you remember?
2 hours and something.
Yeah, let me see. Ooh, it's 2 hours and 41 minutes. Like I said before, we do try to keep from talking about the movie because we want to get our true reactions in front of the camera.
Yeah.
But I do know that was one of the things we talked about in this movie was how fast it seemed like it flew by. Remember we talked about that?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a 2 hour and 41 minute movie. But from the very like first second of it, it puts you right into the movie. It's not one of those movies that has to build and introduce a bunch of characters.
Yeah, and keep going on.
Right. It's you don't have any dull moments that just seem to drag on and you're trying to learn like who's that character? From the very first second of the movie, like you're right into it, right?
Yeah.
And trying to figure out what's gonna happen from the very first second of it. So it is a long movie. 2 hours and 41 minutes is a long movie. It's almost 3 hours, but it did fly by. Like I never did look at my watch one time. It flew by. Okay. Number 9 question is the rewatchability. So does it make you want to watch it again, or was this one of those things where you watch it in movie theaters and you're just like, okay, I'm good to go. I don't want to watch it anymore.
It makes me want to watch it again because I don't know.
Because I don't know. Fair enough. With me, like I said earlier, it's kind of a somber type movie. Yeah. So it was one of those things where I watched it once and I was like, yeah, that was a real good movie, but I'm going to leave it right where it was. I don't really care to watch it 2 or 3 more times. I think I'm good on it. It was a little too, I don't want to say it was a downer. I don't want to say it was a downer movie.
Because it's really good.
It was really good, but it was like really some sad parts in there too, you know?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think as far as the rewatchability score, I would give on like a 1 to 10 rating. I'd probably give it like a 6.5, maybe, as far as rewatching it. That's not my overall score for the movie. I'm talking about like what I like my rewatchability rating. Like there's some movies that I just love, and I just watch them over and over and over because it's like a 10 out of 10 on my rewatchability rating. But I wouldn't say the movie is a 10 out of 10. You follow me?
Yeah.
Yeah. So as far as the rewatchability rating goes, what do you think you would give it? Do you think it's like a 10 out of 10 where you want to watch it every day? Or is it like a 5 out of 10 when you like, nah, I'll catch it if it comes on TV, maybe?
It's a 9.5.
No. How many times have you seen it, you think, so far?
I've seen it like 6 times.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, and I've only seen it, I think I've seen it once. Yeah, I think I didn't watch it again with you, did I? I just watched it once, right? I just watched it once. Okay. So now we're at question number 10, which might be the most important question. I don't know. But it's the overall rating of the movie. So what is your... No, I'm going to go first. No, I'm going to have you go first. Go ahead. What's the overall rating of this movie?
10 out of 10.
I thought you loved this movie. 10 out of 10. Golly. Okay. I thought it was cool. I thought it was a good movie. It was better than okay. It was better than fine. It wasn't near perfect. Like it wasn't anything like to me, The Dark Knight, 10 out of 10. You can't watch that movie just yet. But 10 out of 10, The Dark Knight. This one, okay, on a scale of 1-10, I would say maybe an 8.5, something like that. Yeah, something like an 8.5. Like I said, I love the fact that it did get going from the very beginning all the way through. But it was some real downers in this. I mean, I know not every movie can be this big laugh fest where everything is beautiful and everybody's hugging and kumbaya the whole movie. I get that. But this one was kind of, it was pulling on the heartstrings a little much for me. That's just my opinion, though. So we hope that those 10 questions help you answer the 2 most important questions, which would be, should you allow your kids to watch this movie? And then also, would you enjoy watching this movie with your child? So that is all that we have for you today. Until the next one, do you have anything that you want to add?
Yeah, don't forget to comment down below for any movies we should review.
Yeah, that is a good point. So make sure that you comment down below. Let us know which movie you would like for us to review next. We typically go to every big movie that comes out that's PG-13 or below. So we'll be giving you all those reviews here real soon. But again, that's all that we have for Daddy Daughter Movie Review Podcast. Appreciate you watching. God bless. Take care. Peace.